3 forgotten muscle cars that deserve a comeback. 1. 1970 Mercury Cyclone Spoiler. The 1970 Mercury Cyclone Spoiler was one of the most underrated muscle cars of its era. It shared much of its DNA with the Ford Torino, yet had its own aggressive personality. The car featured a unique aerodynamic nose cone that made it stand out on the road. Under the hood, buyers could choose from powerful V8 engines, including the 429 Cobra Jet. With over 370 horsepower, it was built to dominate both the streets and the drag strip. Unfortunately, Mercury as a brand never got the same attention as Ford or Dodge. This made the Cyclone Spoiler a hidden gem, overshadowed by bigger names. Collectors today admire its rarity and bold design cues. The front-end styling was muscular and futuristic at the same time. It was a car that demanded respect, but often went unnoticed. In NASCAR, versions of the Cyclone proved their performance credentials. Drivers loved its stability and raw power at high speeds. On the street, it was equally capable of scaring rivals. The car represented Mercury's attempt to carve out a performance identity. Sadly, the early 1970s oil crisis killed much of the momentum. Insurance costs also drove many buyers away from big engines. As a result, the Cyclone Spoiler faded into obscurity. Today, it is one of the most collectible Mercury models. Its rarity makes it even more desirable for muscle car enthusiasts. The car's bold looks still turn heads more than 50 years later. Owners cherish its blend of style and raw muscle. The 429 Cobra Jet option remains the most legendary. It delivered brutal acceleration that rivaled top-tier muscle cars. The Cyclone was a direct rival to Plymouth Roadrunners and Dodge Chargers. However, it offered something more unique in terms of styling. The name Spoiler reflected its racing ambitions. Aerodynamics played a big role in its design. This was ahead of its time for a muscle car. Collectors who find one today own a piece of hidden history. Prices have been climbing as recognition grows. Car shows often highlight it as a forgotten hero. The 1970 Mercury Cyclone Spoiler proves that some cars were simply born too early. It deserves far more recognition in the muscle car world. If it made a comeback today, it could rival modern muscle legends. 2. 1971 AMC Javelin AMX. The AMC Javelin AMX was a bold statement from America's smallest automaker. Introduced in 1971, it offered styling unlike anything else at the time. The long hood and aggressive stance made it look fast even standing still. AMC wanted to compete directly with Mustangs, Camaros, and Challengers. To do that, they equipped it with powerful V8 engines. The top option was the 401 cubic inch V8, producing serious horsepower. This gave the Javelin AMX plenty of street credibility. The car quickly developed a reputation for being underestimated. Few expected AMC to deliver a real muscle car contender. But the Javelin AMX proved the doubters wrong. Its unique design included wide fenders and a sporty rear end. The styling cues set it apart from more mainstream competitors. It even served as the official Trans Am racing car for AMC. This boosted its reputation among performance fans. On the street, it was more than capable of taking on rivals. The 401 V8 could push it well past 120 miles per hour. Collectors admire the Javelin's bold and unconventional approach. It symbolized AMC's willingness to take risks. Unfortunately, being a smaller company limited its marketing power. As a result, it never sold in large numbers. Today, this makes surviving examples even more special. The Javelin AMX is often overlooked at car auctions, yet those who know its history respect it deeply. Its rarity and performance make it a great investment. The car's cockpit was driver-focused, enhancing the racing feel. AMC wanted every buyer to feel like a racer. Its connection to Trans Am gave it real motorsport credibility. Styling-wise, it was one of the most futuristic-looking muscle cars. Collectors love its distinctive character. Many argue it was AMC's greatest performance achievement. The Javelin AMX may not have sold as well as Mustangs or Camaros, but it left a lasting mark on the muscle car scene. If AMC had more resources, it could have become legendary. It remains one of the most underrated muscle cars ever built. The Javelin AMX shows that muscle cars weren't just about the big three automakers. It deserves a comeback as a true underdog champion. 3. 1969 Dodge Charger 500. The 1969 Dodge Charger 500 was born from racing ambitions. At first glance, it looked similar to the regular Dodge Charger, but closer inspection revealed aerodynamic changes made for NASCAR. The front grille was flush with the body, improving airflow. The rear window was modified for better aerodynamics. These small changes made a huge difference on the track. Under the hood, it came with powerful engine options. The 426 Hemi and 440 Magnum were the most sought after. Both engines gave the Charger 500 serious street dominance. The car was built to win, and it showed. On the NASCAR circuit, it helped Dodge stay competitive. Its aerodynamic body allowed for higher top speeds. The Charger 500 paved the way for the legendary Daytona. In fact, it served as a direct precursor to that icon. Collectors see it as an important part of racing history. Its rarity makes it extremely valuable today. Only a limited number of Charger 500s were built. This makes every surviving example highly collectible. The styling changes may seem subtle, but they were crucial. At the time, aerodynamics were just becoming important in racing. The Charger 500 proved how vital they could be. On the streets, it was still a fearsome muscle car. The HEMI version was especially powerful and fast. It could easily outrun many competitors. The Charger 500 bridged the gap between muscle and motorsport. It remains a favorite among Dodge enthusiasts. Its NASCAR heritage makes it even more special. The car represents an era when manufacturers built cars specifically to win races. Without the Charger 500, the Daytona might not have existed. It was the unsung hero of Dodge's racing program. Its aggressive looks gave it instant muscle car appeal. Even today, it looks menacing and purposeful. Collectors consider it one of the rarest Charger models. The Charger 500 deserves far more recognition than it gets. It's a forgotten legend that helped shape muscle car history. If revived today, it could stand tall among modern muscle icons.